Hi everyone and welcome back to my channel. So in today's video I am going to be sharing 3 meals that we have eaten this week. The first meal I'm going to show you is using up something that I bought for Christmas and I had it as leftovers. It was absolutely delicious, so I highly recommend you trying it because I promise you, you will not be disappointed and you'll have loads of leftovers which you can then use for other meals or lunches or whatever you would like. As always, I will list down below in my description box the quantities of everything I have used so you can recreate these meals at home really easily. I hope you enjoy them and let's get cooking. So for dinner tonight, we're going to have ham, egg and chips, but I'm going to cook my ham a little bit differently to how I usually do. I actually had some of this cider left over from Christmas. I made like mulled cider and this was a whole thing that I had left over. So I am going to cook my gammon joint in my Instant Pot. That's a pressure cooker, so it cooks the gammon joint really quickly, but I'm going to cook it in the cider. So I've done like a Coke soaked ham before, but this is going to be a cider soaked ham and I think it's going to be delicious. Then what else I've got here is some potatoes to make some chips with. I've got some eggs. I would normally do 1 per person, but I don't fancy one today. So the kids and Chris are going to have an egg each and I'll just go without. Then I've also got some peas to serve on the side as well. So what I'm going to do first of all, like I said, is I'm going to cook my gammon joint in my Instant Pot. So I'm just going to put the joint into the inner pot and then I'm going to soak it, like completely submerge it in the apple cider. I'm then going to pressure cook this. You do 20 minutes per kilo. So my joint is just over 2 kilos. So I'm going to pressure cook this for 45 minutes. After the 45 minutes, it's just going to be looking delicious. And then actually my Instant Pot has an air fryer setting as well. So I'm going to drain off all of the cider and then I'm just going to air fry my joint for 7 minutes just to crispen everything up on the outside. While that's cooking through, I will be making my chips. So I'm going to cook these in my air fryer. I'm going to keep the skins on. I'm just going to cut them into chip shapes. And I will just put a little bit of oil and some salt on there before putting it into my air fryer on 200 degrees centigrade for 25 minutes. When there's about 5 minutes left on there, I will just cook up my eggs and I will heat my peas through before serving it all up together. As you can see, the gammon joint looks absolutely delicious and it tasted amazing as well. It had so much flavour and a really delicious sweetness to it. This was such an easy meal to make and we also have loads of gammon left over so I can pop it into the fridge and that can go into sandwiches for lunch boxes, but it can also make a really nice spaghetti carbonara during the week too. So for tonight's dinner we are going to be having a lentil dal with some prawns. This is sort of like a deliciously Ella recipe, but I've just sort of changed a few bits of it. Like she says, use plum tomato, like an actual tomato, and I use the chopped tomatoes. I've added prawns, and then I add a little bit to my paste as well. So in here, what I have diced up is 1 onion, 3 cloves of garlic. I've also put a stock cube in here, 2 teaspoons of mild curry powder, 1 teaspoon of cumin, 1 teaspoon of paprika. And I've also added a little bit of water just because I feel like when it's got the spices in it, when I add a bit of water, it just brings everything together a bit better. I've blitzed that up and that's my paste. Then I have got some lentils here. I use dried lentils. She actually suggests that you use tinned lentils, but these ones I just find I have them and I can just keep them in my cupboard for as long as I want and I know they're always in there. So I'm just going to soak these before popping them into my meal. I've also got 1 tin of chopped tomatoes and 1 tin of coconut milk, and then I've got some of these prawns as well which I've just defrosted. In here I'm just about to cook this. This is bulgur wheat. This is what I'm going to be serving it with. So I'm just going to cook the bulgur wheat like I do my rice, and then I'll link the video down below of how I cook my rice. And then while that's cooking through, I'm going to get in a large pot and put my paste in the pot, bring it up to heat just to release all those nice flavours before I add in my soaked lentils and my chopped tomatoes and my coconut milk as well. Mix everything together and just keep mixing every now and then for about 20 minutes until my lentils have cooked through. After that 20 minutes, it's then time to pop my prawns in. Just give everything another mix around to warm my prawns through before we serve. So to serve, I'm going to do the bulgur wheat on the side, then the lentil dal, and then I've just got some yogurt that I'll pop on the top too. Okay, so tonight's dinner, we are going to be using just some of the leftovers of our gammon joint. So this is going to become a really delicious spaghetti carbonara. So I make carbonara a couple of different ways, and this is more like the traditional way. Whenever I cook the other one using soft cheese, everyone shouts at me saying it's not real carbonara. So here is this one. So what I've got here is some spaghetti, I've got some garlic, my leftover gammon, 3 eggs, and I've got some this is Parmesan cheese, which was left over actually from a HelloFresh meal that we had last week. And then I've also got some pecorino cheese too. So what I'm going to start off by doing is just getting a pot of water and bring it up to the boil. Once it's boiling, I will put in my spaghetti to cook through. While my spaghetti is cooking through, I'll put a knob of butter into a pan, and then I'll put my gammon into there as well, just to fry it off for a few minutes. After a couple of minutes, I will then crush in 3 cloves of garlic as well. While that's all cooking through in a jug, I will just crack my 3 eggs, beat those up along with all of my pecorino cheese, and I'll just set that to one side. Once my pasta has cooked, I want to keep some of the pasta water, but I'm going to drain the rest of my pasta off. And then I will just add it into the pan where my gammon is. I'm just going to toss that all together and take it off the heat. Then I'll add in my eggs and cheese mixture. But like I said, it's really important to keep this off the heat because otherwise you're going to scramble your eggs. So mix everything through, add in a little bit of your pasta water just to keep everything nice and silky. And then it's ready to dish up. So I'm just going to put this into a bowl, and then I'm going to put a generous amount of Parmesan cheese on top as well, just to finish it off. And this is such a yummy meal. You can add in some peas if you would like to as well, but we are just going to have it super simple like this tonight. So those are the 3 meals I wanted to share with you today. I really hope you like the look of them. Let me know if you give them a try at home and what you think of them. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.